In the gentle spring breeze by my father's grave, I whisper thanks to God for creating me and for allowing me to be his daughter. As winter approaches, the air turns brisk. Gentle breezes slip through each leaf, carrying the scent of moist earth. The rains are gradually subsiding, yielding to the sun's soft rays. An ancient almond tree, with its bare, spindly branches, is now left with only faded yellow leaves, which fall one by one like delicate butterflies, drifting down and resting on the quiet graves below. Watching each leaf fall onto my father's grave, thoughts of human life come to me. In the tranquil silence, memories of my father flood back. Our family was a lively household with 6 siblings. I was the youngest, my father's little girl, cherished the most. Father was a hard-working man, his hands roughened by years of toil, his eyes burdened by life's worries. But he always held me with warmth and love that comforted my young soul. Our house was modest, but always filled with laughter and abundant in love. Today I left home for school. Our small, warm house filled with the laughter of family seemed to reach out to hold me back. But my dreams, waiting to be pursued, urged me to leave that loving embrace and set out on my path. My steps were hesitant as I arrived at my boarding house. Father quietly helped me settle in, his strong hands now seeming awkward as he arranged my little belongings. In that simple room, I was unexpectedly moved to tears when Father gently placed a crucifix on my desk. He softly said, "Remember to offer flowers to God each week, my dear." His kind smile, his eyes filled with love and prayer, felt like a blessing and encouragement. In that moment, I understood that, no matter where I went, Father's love and prayers would always follow me, giving me strength on my journey ahead. Circumstances forced me to live far from home, and I knew Father must have worried and thought of me often. Without him nearby, I began to keep a journal with Jesus, sharing with him my daily happenings, struggles, and failures, trusting that God would listen as Father had. In those days, I walked the red dirt roads of Lam Dong, slippery in the rainy season and dusty in the dry. Despite the hardships, Father never hesitated to pick me up so I could attend Mass and catechism classes each weekend. Thanks to Father, my faith never waned but instead grew stronger each day. Closing the chapter of high school opened a world of possibilities for my friends, each eager with plans and ambitions for their future. As for me, uncertain about my path, a youthful dream suddenly resurfaced, illuminating the way forward, inviting me to follow Christ on the path of devotion. I worried about telling Father my decision, fearing he wouldn't approve. Mustering all my courage, I finally asked, "Father, would it be okay if I became a nun?" His eyes, always warm and gentle, seemed to shine with unusual brightness that day. I realized then that he had always hoped for this, though he never once pressured me. Father's boundless love never placed his dreams or expectations on my shoulders. He only wanted me to be free to choose my own way. The nervous uncertainty of my early days in the convent gradually faded. Now I had grown accustomed to the gentle and peaceful rhythm of life in this new place. I loved it here. Loved the sisters around me, each a soul filled with faith and resilience. Like vibrant flowers, they adorn a garden of the Lord, truly worthy of being called his brides. My heart overflowed with gratitude for the countless blessings God had bestowed upon me. It was as if a gentle stream flowed through my life, bringing me comfort, and I felt that being with God was the only true source of peace and happiness. Amidst this fulfillment, hardship struck. My mother suffered a stroke, leaving her unable to walk. Visiting her, I saw that Father's hair had turned white with age and the weight of countless worries. It pained me deeply. Father now labored harder than ever to support our family and care for my ailing mother. He devoted every ounce of his strength for the love of his wife and children, for the small home that needed him to weather life's storms. Looking at Father, I could not hold back my tears. He gently placed his hand on my shoulder and said, "My dear, we've received so many blessings from God. Can't we also accept these trials and overcome them?" Indeed, the final lesson Father taught me was to entrust everything to God. Faith would give me the strength to overcome adversity and face life with courage, just as Father had. No matter how dark things seemed, he always believed that God would protect our family and that one day the sun would shine again. Life's hardships took their toll, and Father, worn down, could no longer go on. He passed away before he could enjoy a day of peace in old age, leaving an immense emptiness in my heart, a river in flood that overwhelmed me. Every time I thought of his absence, my heart ached. I questioned God. Did he love me? Why did he take Father from me so soon? What would happen to my mother without his rough yet comforting hands, always there to steady her steps? Grief, like wave upon wave, swept over me, stirring doubts about my faith. I asked myself if God even existed, wondering why he had placed so many burdens on me all at once. I felt my faith falter and prayed, "Lord, I no longer want to follow you. My faith is dwindling under the weight of these trials." The emotional and financial burdens weighed on me. I did not want to continue my path of consecration to God. At times, I wished I could vanish like a passing breeze, leaving the pain behind. I was afraid to face the reality of my turbulent life. The rugged red dirt road led me to Father's grave. He had found a new home, humble but lovingly prepared by kind hearts in our parish. Seeing his resting place gave me a bit of solace. Sitting beside Father, my heart warmed in the quiet peace. I recalled all that had happened and remembered his sacrifices that gave me a happy childhood. Father had nurtured my faith in God, the fertile soil where my innocent dream of following him took root. Yet now, in the face of hardship, was I willing to give up? Looking into Father's eyes in his small photo, I felt a surge of strength urging me forward on my path of devotion. In that moment, I knew that God still loved me. He wouldn't leave me alone. He would walk with me through the hardships of this life, and I mustn't let go of his hand. I understood then that life's pains were valuable lessons from God, teaching me to live with resilience and courage in my journey with him. True commitment as a noon required enduring challenges and trials. That year, the almond tree blossomed with new leaves, green and vibrant with life. Tiny, pure white almond flowers fluttered freely in the gentle breeze, peaceful and content. In the gentle spring breeze by my father's grave, I whispered thanks to God for creating me and for allowing me to be Father's daughter. If life is a journey, I am grateful for this path, for having had Father by my side. Father's teachings and unwavering faith in God became the foundation, and now strengthen me as a noon, inspiring me to continue in my journey of devotion.